Hi, Happy New Year everyone, and welcome to our very first webinar in 2020. Today, Matt Caffrey will take you through what does a multi-layer security approach look like, and then he will touch on the RMM tool available at Barracuda and how you can use it to save time and increase your revenue. Lastly, he will show you some of the tools that you can use to examine your client's cybersecurity risk profile to help you make a sale or upsell. This session should take about 15 to 20 minutes, so sit back and relax. If you have any questions, please type them into the question panel and we'll cover them at the end. So Matt, could you please take us through the first point? What does applying a multi-layer security approach mean for a MSP?
Yes, sure. And thank you, Beatrice. I hope everyone had a great Christmas and New Year break. So what does a multi-layered approach look like? As you can see here, we have multiple security layers that not only cover human errors, but also network security and email security layers. Make sure everything is covered. Don't forget to have your backup and disaster recovery layer running at full throttle. Now, also including our RMM, which covers all aspects of the business to ensure that we've got alerting and monitoring on all those areas.
Thank you, Matt. So what products fall under each tier, and could you please give us a quick rundown of what each product offers?
No problem, Beatrice. So we've got our managed fish line product there, which is centered around end user awareness training. Sentinel, which is an AI-based spear phishing detection engine that leverages an Office 365 API. ESS, which is our gateway product that filters SMTP traffic. And then also on our network security layer, we've got our firewalls, which have SD-WAN, categorized-based filtering, DLP, and alike. Content Shield, which leverages those same categories, which is based on an agent or agentless setup for DNS filtering. WAF, which comes as an appliance, either virtual or physical, and then also as a service to protect web front ends, such as stores or where valuable information is kept and accessed by a modern workforce out there around the world. And then under our BDR layer, we've got our cloud archiving service, which enables people to access those archives, which are in an immutable fashion. So therefore, if there is anything that comes up in terms of legalities, then we're able to do an e-discovery of those emails in that immutable form. And then cloud-to-cloud backup, which covers SharePoint, Teams, OneDrive, and Exchange Online to back up that information from Office 365 cloud to cloud. And then underpinning that, as I mentioned, the RMM, which is Managed Workplace, to monitor all those individual sections of that business, and then to report and monitor and script those actions that need to be carried out on a day-to-day basis.
Thank you, Matt. That brings us to point number 2. Rethink your RMM strategy to increase your managed services revenue. So RMM tools are a foundational platform for the managed services community. Whether you're a MSP, transitioning reseller, or a new market participant, you need an RMM tool. In the next few slides, Matt will give you a quick overview of Managed Workplace, which is our latest addition to the Barracuda MSP portfolio, and he'll explain some of the benefits that you can take advantage of using this tool.
So you can see here that Barracuda Managed Workplace RMM is a security-centric RMM. It has a built-in security assessment, which helps identify vulnerabilities within your customers' networks and create sales opportunities off that security assessment to then go through and then harden those devices that need attention. You can monitor devices, websites, applications, the security posture of that individual customer, and then all do that from one single pane of glass. There's task automation, patch management, third-party application patch management with pre-built scripts and packages to then leverage those to automate your tasks that can be can take up so much of your time and your tech's time. Integrated antivirus and then Office 365 account management is also a great thing to leverage. So we can also demonstrate the value to your customers with over 150 white label customer facing reports, which can be emailed to them. Let's have a look at the high level overview of Managed Workplace and its ecosystem. So you can see here, we've got our Managed Workplace Service Center that's accessible via the internet. That's where you'd be doing all your controlling of your devices, reporting and alike. There is an on-site manager. That on-site manager will then go out and probe that information within that, that local subnet or subnets. As long as it's accessible, we can grab that information either through Office 365 and their cloud apps, on-premise Exchange and SharePoints, physical servers such as iDRAX, ILOs, ESX, Hyper-V, network devices, firewalls, switches, and alike. And then a network device would be Windows machine, OS X, or a Linux box. We can probe all those. And then leveraging SNMP once again, we're able to look at, for instance, printer information. For those individual notebooks and roaming workforce devices, we also offer you an installable, it's called a device manager, which can be installed on a Mac or on a Windows machine to then pull that information in for wherever that machine is around the world. So we've got flexible implementation. We do have 11 instances across the world in our SaaS setup within AWS. And that's all in terms of the updates are all managed by us. There will be an alert of that new version of Managed Workplace coming out. And then outside of hours, those are updated to bring that into a line of being of the latest version of Managed Workplace that gives you the leverage of those latest and greatest features, for which there's been 2 releases since Barracuda acquired it in February last year. We're also scaling that that infrastructure behind the scenes, so you don't have to worry about that. If you wish, you can also have it as an on-premise install, which will be hosted by yourself, wherever that might be, and then the MSP is then has a control over those updates, and then can deliver on that. So, in terms of our help desk and knock, we've got a help desk knock service, which will help in bringing in those holes and gaps inside your either skill sets or the fact that you might have onboarded a new client and you just need to deal with that extra load from that client. That will be running by 24/7. So you can also use that as an additional service for your customers. It's no harm putting it on the price list and then fulfilling that as an extra revenue stream whilst you're in bed tucked away at night, or you're probably updating an Exchange server at 3 a.m. Let's be honest, and it's just one less thing that you have to deal with. So we've got our individual tools that helps enable MSPs to sell into their customers. We've got our email threat scanner, which connects into Office 365's API, and we've scanned over 10 million mailboxes. So we've contextualized those spear phishing attacks, and of 86% of those mailboxes, we discovered a threat, and of those threats, there was 125 on average per account. As I mentioned in the last couple of slides, we were talking about Managed Workplace. and Managed Workplace has its site security assessment. So it's just a matter of deploying a device within inside that network. It might be a network that you're onboarding, or a network that you may want to just get some more information on, and you've already got your on-site manager there. You would be able to then run a scan on those devices and then give you a score to then go back to the customer in terms of its antivirus, its patch status, and its network security issues. So we talk about creating and delivering and demonstrating. So yeah, we'd create those services. So we've got those services there that we've discussed, and then we deliver those through the Echo platform, which is managed by that MSP. And then we can demonstrate that value to those customers via the reporting that we give you to then leverage that. There was a global MSP gathering via a web session only about a month or so ago, and someone had come up to my boss there in North America and mentioned that Barracuda, that's that fierce fish, right? And he said, well, yeah, with that fierce fish, it's got teeth, and you need to have teeth to be in the security vendor industry, being such an evolving, fierce industry. And Barracuda has that pedigree, be it with the WAFs or the firewalls, cloud gen based, or down to that email security, which has been a flagship for over 10 years by Barracuda. So from that standpoint, it's great that MSPs are able to leverage these enterprise type products and then deliver that to those customers that may not necessarily be able to get into that space.
Great, thank you, Matt. So it is question time. If you have any questions, just type them into the question panel, and then we can go through it now. So Matt, are you ready to take on some questions?
Yes,
awesome.
I am.
So we've got one from the chat early in the meeting. Yeah, he was asking if we have an offline version of this. So yes, we have an on-demand webinar link. So you should receive the link in the next day or two. And then we've got another question from Andrew. So let me open this up. So he was asking, you mentioned there is an AI-based spear phishing detection solution. What is this and how does it work?
Yeah. So yeah, it's Sentinel. So Sentinel identifies sending and receiving habits to detect employee impersonation, service impersonation, blackmail, scamming, and also conversation hijacking within emails. It's all done with inside the tenant. So it doesn't happen at the gateway level, it happens within the Office 365 tenant. We leverage their API to jump into that tenant and then understand that. As part of Sentinel as well, there is a free DMARC analyzer to mitigate that service impersonation for your own domain, which is a nice add-on there for sure.
Great, thank you, Matt. And the next question is from Nick. We're a small MSP serving about 100 seats. Would Managed Workplace suit our business?
Yeah, so with Managed Workplace and the licensing model, it's consumption-based, so you can split those licenses across your entire client base. So I would say, yeah, around 100 seats. Yeah, I mean, a customer would be sort of averaging around 25 devices out there for sure within any small business. So yeah, well and truly adequate for a small MSP.
Cool. And the next one is from Nishan. Sorry if I pronounce your last name incorrectly. So he's asking, what are the costs of all these services, please?
So in terms of costs, we'll be able to get back to you in regards to what products that you're after, and alike. Luke, the regional account director, will be in touch in regards to that.
Yeah. So yeah, if you can send us an email, so Matt Caffrey's email is on the screen right now, just send an email to him, just kind of let us know what products you're interested in, and we can get Luke to give you more information on that. And we've got our final question from Carlson. Do you have a software only backup? Because we have some clients that don't need hardware for storage.
We do. It's in the form of Intronis Backup. Intronis Backup is an agent-based backup, which enables you to either backup straight to Barracuda or also to a third-party on-site storage. It might be a NAS or some sort of SMB storage. So we enable that for you via that agent, and we can back up SQL, Exchange, physical servers, virtual servers, and also object level, such as SMB shares, and we can spin those virtual machines up in a quick spin fashion to then deliver them instantly.
Great, thank you, Matt. Yeah, that's all the questions that we have for today. So thank you everyone for joining the webinar. Thank you, Matt, and hope you have a good day and a great year ahead. Cheers, bye.
Thank you, everyone. See you.